Hey everyone, welcome to this video. Welcome to my channel. Sorry for that awkward ass intro. I just feel like for the first couple of seconds, you gotta bear with me on these YouTube videos because think about it like this. It's just a warm up. Like when I first turn on that camera, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like everything in me, everything goes blank. Like picture my head, I have ideas, I have thoughts. Turn on that camera, everything is just gone. It's just blank. But as soon as I start talking for a bit, it's like a warm up, and I get myself going, and then now I'm like comfortable. Now I'm comfortable. Now I can talk. Before I thought I was I thought I was mute for a second, but no, now I can talk. But anyways, what are we talking about? Anyways, we're talking about the imaginary audience. We're talking about that, and that's, I feel like this has been a long time coming topic of discussion for me because I've just been thinking about this as it's been like a month or so. I can't really remember when, but I was just like, I want to like record and really like talk about this and like vent about how I feel about this subject because I had a breakthrough about what is really going on with me because I feel like constantly I'm such a like introspective person. So I'm trying to figure out, like, my wheels in my brain is always turning, like what's going on, like what is really up, like what can I do to fix myself. And not that we need any fixing, but I just feel like the way that I'm wired is to constantly be like inward looking and figuring out, okay, what is there to change, what can I do to improve. But anyways, in doing all of that, I came to a conclusion that, oh, I have an imaginary audience, and this is becoming paralyzing to the point where I can't even get myself to do things sometimes because I feel like I am being scrutinized and judged and watched, and I need to do everything so precise and perfectly. If not, I am going to be tore down, or I'm going to be belittled by my fake audience that I just created, because it's not even that they're real. I just created that. And why do we have imaginary audiences? I think that was like the biggest question I had when realizing that, like, oh, this is why I'm so tense all the time. This is why I feel all this like immense pressure all the time, because it's like, what, where else would that pressure be coming from? Obviously there's just like a lot of internal things that we go through, as far as like, the pressure to succeed, the pressure to the pressure to be successful for our loved ones, like, that is there, of course. But as far as like, why do I always feel this immense pressure, like 24/7 without fail, of having to perform and do all the things that I need to do in such a perfect way that is never achievable, by the way. Like, you can never do things to the way that you've imagined, to the way that your mind has like fabricated, that, oh, you're going to move exactly like this. You can't do it that way because we're not robotic. I think that's the way that my mind works, at least, is that it forgets that I'm human. Like, it literally plans out my whole day as if I'm a robot. It's like, oh, you're gonna do this and this from this certain time, and after this you're gonna do this. But the thing is, my mind does not include breaks. Like, that's a crazy thought, actually, because I'm realizing, wow, I do think as if I'm like, the way that I plan out my day is as if I'm like a robot. Like, I forget that I'm human, that like, oh, as easy as it is to do this, like A, B, and Z, A, B, and Z, as easy as it's to do like A, B, and C in my head, the actual process of doing it doesn't work the way that it does in my head, because it's so easy to think about doing something rather than doing the thing itself, because it's actually sometimes more time consuming than we've initially planned it out to be. But anyways, I'm going off topic. Going back to the imaginary audience, I realized that, like, oh, this immense pressure is coming from the fact that I feel like there's like a panel of judges in my head that is like constantly watching me, scrutinizing my every move, and telling me that, oh, whatever I'm doing is not good enough, and I have to be continuously striving to be better and to do more. And once I realized that, I was like, oh, okay, that's where all that pressure is coming from. It makes sense now, because I'm like, this why do I always feel so tense all the time? Like, why can't I just relax? Why am I always so apprehensive? It's because I feel like I am being watched and judged. And if you feel that way too, I think this is like the perfect video for you, because I'm pretty much just going to, with my experience of within a month or so trying to figure this out and trying to work on myself in that way, I've picked up some things and I'm still working on them, like actively still working on them. But I just think that, okay, with the little bit of knowledge I have, let me kind of share it out to the public and see, the type of responses and things, and try to just create a space for people to know that, oh, you are not alone in this feeling. Like I felt it too, and I'm sure millions of other people in this planet constantly are feeling the same way. So yeah, like I realized I had an imaginary audience. And to just kind of give a definition, because I know this video is already like all over the place, an imaginary audience is just like the sense, the phenomenon of feeling like there's a set group of people, or it may not even be people, whatever it is, whatever abstract thing it is, there just feels like there's a set group of eyes or so that are watching you and criticizing you, and scrutinizing you, and like whatever adjective that you can think of, they're just doing that, analyzing you, like. And it's to the point where it feels so real. It feels like you have to put on a performance, that you are on the stage and that there are people watching you, and you have to perform for their love, you have to perform for their acceptance, you have to perform for their approval. Like that's how it feels like, and although this is a normal experience of life, like that's one thing that kind of gives me ease, is just knowing that, oh, this is just part of the human experience. Like this is normal. Like it's not just a unique experience. Like millions, even billions of people go through the same thing, because it's just the natural part of the human experience. And I think that it kind of stems from how our development takes place, and even just our environmental factors, as in being in school. You have your teacher that is doing the same thing as an imaginary audience. Your teacher is there to kind of watch, observe you, hopefully not like criticize you, but sometimes, if it helps, they may, give you constructive criticism at least. Your teacher is kind of has been doing that. Even your parents are kind of like your imaginary audience, where your parents are there and they're kind of like giving you feedback. They're like, watching you, observing you, telling you where you need to be, where you need to improve, and things like that. So it's like I feel like we've had so many different things and aspects in our life that make it so we internalize those people and those roles that people had for us. We internalize it, and then we create like a group of people. And you may be able to pinpoint it to one person. You may be like, oh, John, like John is the one that like I'm trying to I'm constantly like, he's constantly in my head, and I'm trying to seek approval so that he can accept me or whatever. You may be like that, or you may just be like, oh, I don't think there's really any people that I can pinpoint this to. It just feels like there's just a amalgamation, like just a mixture of like bits and pieces of people that I met throughout my lifetime, and I can't even recognize anyone. Like I don't even know who it is that I'm trying to please. It just feels like there's somebody there that is watching me. Like maybe it's like that for you. And I feel like that's mainly what my experience has been. It just feels like I can't, maybe like there's some people in the past that I can point out and say, oh, like part of why I feel this way is because I want to prove to them that, oh, I'm not the way that they think that I am. But for the most part, it's just kind of fragments of just people in the past. And I feel like you kind of build it up to the point where it is now, where it's just like a bunch of old garbage and crap from the past that you don't even really know existed. Things that people wronged you, and things that like, situations and circumstances that were in the past, and things that have happened that you're not even aware of is still lingering on. And these are the people and the fragments that you've taken and integrated to this one thing, this imaginary audience, where you feel like you have to put on a show every day. And this is so, first thing though, I really have to make you feel seen in this. Like you have to know that like this is so exhausting to feel like there's a group of people watching you every day is such a draining feeling. It's such a draining feeling because you feel like no matter what you do, you can never arrive at a point where you feel like those people are satisfied because those people are not even real. So it's like it's impossible to satisfy those people that don't exist. So when you feel like you're constantly in this race to get satisfaction from groups of from a panel of people that don't exist, you're constantly feeling unfulfilled and dissatisfied with yourself because it's an unreachable goal, you know? It's never, you can never attain that. So it's exhausting, you know, to have that. But just know that it's a normal experience, you know, it's part of life. And I think one thing that I've been telling myself and I need to continue to reassure myself is that when it comes to emotions, when it comes to things that I experience that is normal to the human, just normal to human life, I have to remind myself this is such an ancient feeling. This is such an ancient emotion that years and centuries and eon I don't know about eons, but just thousands of years of people and civilizations that have felt the same way. Like this is not a feeling that I alone created. This is a feeling that has existed throughout time. And if it's that ancient and it's that feeling that where you can read poems and you can read novels from hundreds of years ago, and then you are so, you know, you're surprised to see that these artists and these writers are literally talking about the same things that you are actively experiencing right now. So it's crazy how these experiences literally transcend time. Like these experiences are so ancient and they are already woven into our human experience. Like it's not anything that we create. Like don't think that you created or this experience is only unique to you. This is something that is normal and part of life. So like once you know, once you tell yourself that, once you establish that for yourself, that this is a fact, that this is a fact, that these are ancient emotions. I think even using the word ancient, there's just something that's like really cool about using that word. Like I feel like in my brain I'm like, wow, this existed. This is like prehistoric almost. Like this existed before me. This goes beyond me. This has nothing to do with me actually. Then that's why I'm like, oh, I feel so small in this, because the thing about these emotions is that they're so big and they're so loud that it makes us feel like we are like the only person in the world that is experiencing that. But when you realize that this is such a large scale emotion that millions of people go through, you're like, oh, I'm so small in this, you know, I'm not actually the only person. But anyways, I think once you establish that, then that kind of it gives you more ease, because you're like, oh, okay, like this is something that has been experienced throughout years and centuries, and this will only continue to be experienced. Emotions like these and phenomenons and experiences like this will only continue throughout time. So what can I do then at this point? I think then when you get to a point of acceptance, then you get to a point of just respecting and honoring the emotion. Because I like to think, because I didn't create this emotion, because I didn't create this experience or phenomenon, then the only option I have is then to honor it. Because this is such a massive experience and creation that like goes beyond who I am. Like I don't even know where this derives from. God, obviously, but like as far as like I don't even know, like I have not even witnessed it with my own physical naked eyes. Like I haven't even witnessed where these come from, but they're here. And I think it's such a beautiful thing, and it like kind of is just a thing where you need to just revere, like you need to be in awe of it. Like wow, I'm able to experience these emotions. This is something that is part of who I am, that I get to experience. I think whenever you reframe anything that you go through like that, there's an instant like switch that goes on in your mind that's like, wow, this is powerful. Like I get to experience it. It's no longer, oh, why am I experiencing it? It's no longer why, oh, why am I the only one that is experiencing it? Or why does this have to happen to me? But now it's reframed to I get to experience it. Like, wow, everything aligned in place, everything worked out for me to come to this earth and get to experience the emotions that have already existed and that have been part of the the human tapestry or whatever, that has been a part of the human history. These emotions I get to experience. And hopefully this makes sense, because I feel like it's kind of hard to like articulate what I'm trying to say, but like my mind understands what I'm saying, but hopefully this is like translating well into words. But yeah, this is something to really appreciate and to respect. And just know that like this is it's beautiful. Like, as much as it sucks to feel like, there's people watching you, just know that it's for a reason. Maybe it's the attention that you've seeked and that you wanted. Maybe it's from those type of things, like that. To have this attention doesn't always have to be a bad thing. I think it's just the way that you look at it. Because one thing also too, doing that, but then also another thing that I'm doing is, instead of imagining like an audience of like blank faces and feeling like they're judgmental and critical of me, I can just imagine my own self. I can be my own audience. I can be like imagining me as the one looking back at me, if that makes sense. Like, the audience that I'm creating, that I kind of give this like um villain look to it, this that I give this villain personality to, can just be me. And when it's just me watching myself, that's a beautiful thing, because it's like you need to be able to love and respect yourself. So to get to the point where you're just watching yourself and seeing how far you've come and the progress that you've made and what you're doing, I think that's so much more light, and that's just so much more just beautiful. It's like an amazing feeling to be like, oh, I'm looking at myself and I'm being able to applaud myself and, see how far I've come, instead of imagining there to be an audience of blank faces that don't exist. So I have like so much thoughts that are just like going around in my brain. So I really hope that this is like actually sounding like words, because I feel like this is just all over the place. But the imaginary audience and the invisible audience, which they also call it, doesn't have to be a bad thing, because I think it's just, and I wrote this in my journal, it's a testament to the human experience. This is evidence that, we are alive, and that as part of the human experience. And we don't know, I think there's so many different reasons and so many different theories to why we experience this, but at the end of the day, it's just a testament to who we are as humans. We love our attention, and sometimes it gets to the point where it's overbearing, because with that attention we feel like it comes to a point where, oh, people would feel like we're not enough. We have to perform for people, and you really don't have to. You don't have to perform for anybody, because the only person that has been watching you this whole entire time, think about it, the only person that has been watching you is yourself. You've been watching yourself. It's just been you watching you. And although maybe some people watch you once in a while, but know that like that barely can amount to much. The amount that the times and how much you've watched yourself and thought about yourself is such a greater scale to how much people have thought about you or watched you. Like you can't even compare the two, because you're yourself. So you have watched yourself, you have heard yourself, you have done more than any person can even count. So it's just been you watching you. So even though it feels like there's an audience there, because our brain has a way of fabricating these things, just know that it's always been you, and just turn it into a way where it's beautiful, where you are watching you this whole entire time and you are getting to experience what it's like to be you. You're getting to applaud yourself and reward yourself for the progress that you're making. And you're being able to just live your life through your own lens. And it doesn't have to be from anybody else's lens. It's just through your lens. That's beautiful. And at the end of the day, you applaud yourself and you give yourself the flowers that you need. So I want to cut this video here because I feel like if I keep talking, I'm not going to make any more sense than I've already been making. So hopefully I'm gonna rewatch this and hopefully words came out, man. I don't even know what came out of my mouth. Like I don't even know what I was supposed to talk about. I had notes, but I just feel like I can get so out of topic sometimes. And yeah, I'm still learning, man. Like just expect there to be better videos to come, okay? Better videos to come. But anyways, I'm glad that I'm like more comfortable though on camera. Like, but that was a journey. Like, I came from like being so stiff and like barely moving my hands to not being comfortable. Like I'm talking to my own friend. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna end this video here. And if you guys have anything you want to leave in the comments, please do so. Hopefully, I helped in a way. I really do. I don't know if I did, but I mean, if I didn't help, hopefully I was some type of comfort, like YouTuber for you for those 20 minutes that I've been talking. But anyways, I don't want to keep you here too long than you have to be. So I'll leave you guys and see you guys next time. Bye bye.